Hi everybody, how are you on this Tuesday morning? I just thought I would come on and talk a little bit about my boss day. So it's something I do in my business and it really has helped me over the last few years to have some dedicated time to working on my business. So I thought I'd jump on today and just talk a little bit about that and get a little bit of a sense check as well as to how many other small business owners are taking the time to have a day out of their diary or a portion of time out of their diary to really work on their business and what I get from it, and the benefits. Because if you're not doing this, maybe it's something you need to really start thinking about and allocating a portion of time to be working on your business, because there's lots of different ways in which we can do that, where we can be effective and work on our business. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was Magic October. So this is something that I coined a few years ago when I realized for me, October was the month where everything really started to come together, because though September for a lot of people is a refresh, a restart or a reset month as they're coming back in after the summer holidays, I feel like September takes a little while to get going. That yes, we're starting to do things and we're starting to look at stuff, but actually we're not on fire yet. That for me happens in October. That's why I coin it Magic October. And it's also the reason why historically, whenever I've launched programs or had start dates for courses or programs, it's always been in October as opposed to September, for that reason, because I think most people are starting to think about what they want to do in September, but they're not really ready yet. So actually October is a month where people are like, right, that's it. I'm ready now. I've done my planning. I've done my organization. I've got myself back on track. All my ducks are in a row. And now I'm going to take on the world. And that's really what happens in October. So I always see October as a very special month. It's also the last quarter of the year, and that's the beginning of that process to make sure that I end the current year in the strongest position that I can. That's really important to me, that no matter what has happened throughout the rest of the year, if it's been difficult, if it's been up and down, if I've struggled, I don't want to end the year that way. I want to make sure that whatever happens, that I've ended 2021 in the best way possible. Now, will I get all the results that I want? That's not really the point. The point is that I'm putting the work in to make sure that everything is ready, not just because I want to end this year well, but I want to start next year well too. And giving myself a head start by really focusing on the last quarter of the year is only beneficial. So Magic October is a great time for me. So in line with that, I had a boss day yesterday. So what is a boss day? Well, for me, a boss day is when I'm working on my business. And I call it a boss day. I know other people call it CEO days and things like that. But the reason why I call it a boss day is I have a mug that says boss lady. And I always make sure I use that mug on that day. So for me, it's a boss day. And I don't see any negative connotation with the word boss either. I know it's fancy to say I'm having a CEO day, but I like a boss day. So when I'm having a boss day, what am I doing it? Well, I'm totally bossing it, right? And I am making sure that I am looking at my business and I'm doing everything that I need to make sure that the planning, the organization, the strategic stuff is all in place so that I can hit the following months hard. I tend to have a couple of boss days a month, and sometimes I might even break those down a little bit if my diary is tight, and I might just give myself half a day. And the point is, it's not how much time you spend, it's how effective you are in that time. So I try to have a few of these a month. Ideally, I'd like to have one a week. And if I can, I try and carve some time out every week to be working on the business, sometimes for half a day, as I've said, others for a full day. So overall, I look to have at least 2 days in a month, or the equivalent of 2 days, where I've been working on my business, looking more at planning, being more strategic, getting a little bit structured and a little bit organized. So yesterday, I actually had a facilitated session with my coach who was running a strategic and planning session yesterday. So I thought, you know what, that's perfect. I'll book my boss day for that day. So I've got a whole day where I'm working through something. And there's a few things to do that is going to help you be more effective. Oh, I've got a comment. I can't see who it is though, because they've not given StreamYard permission. All I can see is Facebook user. I totally agree. September started really slow, but seeing many inquiries already this week. Yeah, I think, September is quite slow because I think people are only just really getting back into it. So when we talk about this excitement around September, the magic happens in October. So roll on October, right? It's not that far away either. I mean, look how quickly September's going. We're already coming towards the end of the month. So going back to the boss day, what can we do? Oh, hello, Runa. What can we do to make sure that we're maximizing our boss days? Well, there's a few things that we need to do. Firstly, we need to schedule it in our diary and commit to it. Make sure that we're giving ourselves time to work on our business. You can do this on your own and you can say, right, I'm going to have a day where I work on myself, or you can do it in a facilitated way like I did yesterday. And things like masterminds, programs that you're in that have regular sessions, things like my Impact 90, for example, are also part of your boss days because they're time when you're working with somebody on your business rather than in it. So all of these count, right? They all count. And committing to them is the first step. Putting it in the diary and committing to them. The next thing you need to do is plan what you're going to do during your boss time. Yeah, what is it that you're going to work on? Because what you don't want to be doing is at the beginning of the day, faffing around trying to decide what needs to be worked on and what's important, because you're wasting valuable time. So I always plan out what I'm going to be working on. So prior to my day yesterday, over the weekend, I nailed down what it is that I wanted to focus on, what was going to be in my mind, what was I going to be thinking about throughout the day, because I want to complete stuff. I want to make sure that I am starting something and finishing something. So this is the other key thing, which is keep it simple. Don't do too many things. I see so many business owners working on so many different things, and they're doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but they're not really finishing anything. And the key to having a really successful boss day is working on one thing at a time. So pick what you're going to work on and see it through. Remove distractions, okay? Whatever is the distractions for you, for wherever you're working, try and remove as many of those as you can. And that includes these fellas, these mobiles, right? So I put my phone on silent. So it's on silent. I'm not checking any messages. What I am doing is allowing myself 3 times during the day in which I can check my phone. Once mid-morning, once at lunchtime, once mid-afternoon. So that way, if there is anything urgent, I can pick it up, but I don't want to be distracted. And I have to be disciplined about that even if I do see stuff on social media, that I don't do anything with it. So I didn't really respond to a lot yesterday and actually responded to most of my messages. Well, I've still got some to respond to today, but most of my social feed and that last night, because as soon as I get sucked in to social media, my boss day is disappearing. So you've got to be really disciplined about what you get sucked into on a boss day. The other things that you really need to be thinking about is what important stuff must be done beforehand. Because what you don't want to be doing is having your boss day and in the back of your mind thinking, oh, I haven't sent that report yet. Oh, I haven't done that proposal yet. Oh, I needed to send that email, because you're not going to have the concentration that you need to really maximize your boss day. So make sure that you're prepared for it as if you would if you were going on holiday. Yeah, when you're going on holiday or taking time off from your business, you get everything done that needs doing before you go. Have the same philosophy around a boss day. So Thursday and Friday, I looked at what had to be done ready for for Monday, so that I didn't have to be worrying about stuff needing doing. Anything else wasn't important and I just let it go. Yeah, if it didn't need doing, it's not important and I let it go for the day, and I can always pick up things on the Tuesday. You need to be really disciplined about how you're spending your time during that day. So if you can, prep things like your lunch so you're not spending too much time faffing around creating lunch. These are really simple things. I moved myself down here into the kitchen, which is where I am now, because it was easier for me to grab drinks, get my lunch without any distraction. Whereas what happens is when I leave the office and I come down, I might put the telly on and then I'm having my lunch, and then all of a sudden my lunch is an hour long And actually on a boss day, I want to maximize my opportunity. I'm not saying we shouldn't take breaks, but just facilitate it so it's just easier to do so and quicker, so that you're in and out and you're back into your work as quickly as possible. So those are some of my tips for having a really good boss day. Getting organized, plan what you're going to work on, pick one thing that you're going to work on, two if it's small. Be realistic about time, book it in your diary, be disciplined about keeping it in, and look at your options for working on your business. Some days I book a boss day and it's just me and my pen and my paper and I'm creating. Other days it's an opportunity to work with my coach, whether in a mastermind session or a facilitated day or Impact 90 or whatever. These all count as boss days or boss times, yeah, when I am bossing it and I'm working on my business, not in it. So the question that I have for you is, when did you last have a boss day? When did you last really let everything else in your business go, not do anything in the day-to-day, and just allocate and focus time to working on your business? Love the sound of a boss day. Think I need a new mug, right? I mean, my boss lady mug is definitely my go-to to the start of a boss day. I make sure that's the mug that I'm using. I put on a motivational playlist, so I've got the energy levels up. And I guess depending on what I'm working on, if I want to get really creative, I might choose a playlist that helps me really get some energy going. If I really want to work through something, then I might have some background distraction music, whatever works for you. We all work slightly differently. For some, we might work really well on having a boss day on a Friday, others it's a Monday. I tend to change mine up depending on how my diary is looking, because I want it to be as easy as possible to fit the boss day in. If I try to become too structured about doing it, it limits me then to my other activities in the business. So I go with the flow, but I always make sure that if I've booked it in, I do it. And the reason why I do boss days is I can't tell you how much work I get done during a boss day. I get so much done, so much thinking time. I mean, yesterday the ideas were flowing. I mean, I wrote reams and reams of paper. Ideas, things that came to me. There were some things that came to me that weren't anything to do with what I was working on. That can happen because your brain is open to the process. What I do with those is I write them on a separate sheet of paper and then I car park them. Yes, a term from my corporate days, but I car park them. I put them there so that they're parked and they're ready for me to pick up later on. That way nothing gets lost, but they're a distraction, because if I start delving into that, I'm not finishing what I'm working on. So the ideas will come, and I find that I'm more creative and I've got more space to think. There was a moment yesterday where I felt like I couldn't think. And so I just worked on a different part of the project for a while and just allowed my brain to relax, and then everything started to flow. So set yourself up. Set yourself up for a good day. I decamped to the kitchen. It's a different environment. You know, I've got the view outside into the garden. It was a nice sunny day. It gave me some energy. I'm close to the kettle. I'm close to the fridge, all the important stuff for a boss day. And I've got a big space here on the table where I've got my A3 sheets of paper, my notepads, my computer, everything that I need to make sure that I really maximize the day. So my challenge to you is, if you haven't had a boss day in a while, get something booked in your diary. It could be a day out to an event or a workshop or a masterclass. It could be joining a program and having facilitated time on a weekly basis. I mean, for example, you know, just saying, you could join my mastermind, which will give you an hour and a half every single week to work on your business, plus additional time if you want it. Or you might join Impact 90, where you get focus sessions every single month. Cheeky plug. But book something in your diary, get something booked in, pick something that you've been working on for a while and maybe struggling to finish. Pick something that you know is going to make a really nice positive impact in your business that you're just struggling to find the time to do. Allocate some time to it, get it done so that you can keep progressing and you've got the right momentum in your business. The reason why a lot of business owners don't grow is because they get stuck in working in their business and not on it. They might even be taking the time out and getting that, you know, facilitated time elsewhere. But if they're not really in the zone and working on the business, it's not beneficial. So make sure that you prep for it, you plan for it, you organize it, you remove those distractions, and you stay committed to the day or whatever time you're allocating to it. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on boss days. Is it something that you do? Do you do it enough? Are you not doing it? When was the last time you did one? And if you do decide to do a boss day after watching this video, let me know how you get on. Let me know how it felt to be working on your business and creating something, helping you and your business move forward, gaining some sense of progress and some momentum. I'd love to hear that. So have a wonderful day. I've got a lovely networking event soon with a lovely Aruna. And then I've got a session with my Grow team, one of my paid groups. We've got a 2-hour coaching session after that. So a really nice afternoon for me chatting and working in the business. But I'm picking up things from what I did yesterday, and that's going to flow, and that's giving me energy, which is exciting. So have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and I will see you all very soon.